Hi again. Welcome to IT Applications in Business course. I am Ma'am Andrea. You can call me Ma'am Drea. I'll be your guide to our topic today, which is all about text function. And then you can download your workbook and follow along with me. Let's do this together. How to transform the data into useful data using formulas and text functions such as the trim, the proper substitute, replaced, and find, and also left. And you can also see how to speed up some calculating in your spreadsheet, which if you have time, we can go over the concatenate function and ampersand. So that's what we're going to do today. You can download this spreadsheet. Most of this is an exercise for Excel 2016, 2013, and it can also be used if you're using a Microsoft Excel 365. So let's go ahead and let me zoom it in. There you go. We got to talk about text functions. It's one of the easier topic on Excel and IT, some of the tools in business. The functions like trim, proper, find, search, substitute, and some others. And these are very useful functions because a lot of times our data is messed up, and like you can see here, like too many leading spaces or spaces that are at the end, it can really wreck up the way you do your data analysis later on. And also we need to sometimes to still need to like reorganize this, because you see it start with the last name and the first name. So if we have to first and maybe we need to switch them around so that there's a lot of text functions. So this is an example of a dump from extracted from a report or from a system or your database. Are you able to download the workbook? Let's do the trim function. The trim is an easier one. So we're going to look at a very few of them here. And the first one is really trim. Trim is a great function. You just give your name and go to the salon, it will give you a haircut. No, just kidding. So it's the same as you having a haircut. It really gets rid of all the spaces, and except for like a single space between words. And this is a very important function also, because if you do a lookup function, remember we did a lookup function on our previous classes, or like a true or false formula or something like that, and that you have like this extra spaces here excuse me, and you might not get what you want or from that formula. So let's see how to use the trim, and you simply click on it and get rid of all these single spaces, or all of these spaces except for the single space between here. We just want to get rid of that or some extra spaces. All right. So in the trim, it's just equals, let me zoom it in so you can see. So the function here is just equals trim. The trim removes all the spaces from a text string except for a single space between the words, and then you just go over the trim function, and it will give you now the right trim and removes the extra spaces on the first line. Let's go ahead and double click here. Do not drag, just double click it down, copy it down. There you go. That's the trim function. Can you follow along? So we can just double click it and send it down, so you can see we don't have any leading spaces on all our data on this column. Now, if we did this and now you want to use like you want to use this data as your raw data later on here on our next following slide example, you could see that the function here, it's still a function or with a formula here. And you don't want that because later on, if we're gonna use it as a raw data, you actually want to copy it, right? And we can use a paste special with on some earlier version of Excel. Let's highlight this. So this is the one that we want to use later on the as a raw data here, but it's still having that function formula or the function, and we don't want that, so we just have to control C, copy. On some of the earlier version, you can edit, it's an edit special, or you can just click on the home and paste a special, and then you can just go the B. So it's now on a general format, not the formula. You can also access paste special, the shortcut, a keyboard shortcut, Alt ES E. There you go. Oh, hold on. Let me control C first. So it's still on the function formula. This one, we don't want that. We want it just a general text or raw data. Control C. The shortcut for paste special is Alt and C. Excuse me. And there you go. It's now on text. Let's do another thing. You can also do like 2016 Excel. You can also do this. Just go to the edge and just right click there and drag something, and then it will drag back and forth, and then this dialog box would appear. Just click on copy here as a format, and it will already convert back to the text format and not as the function formula. So let's now go over to the next function. Some questions. Yeah, I used Alt ESV. Just type it faster, and the dialog back for the paste special will appear. And if you're using like Excel 2016, it's still on the edit tab, so that's where you can find it. If you have a few more questions, just chat it in, or go ahead and let me know if it's too small for you. I can zoom it in also. Let's go now to the next column, which is the proper. Here under this problem, if we have like a capital letters like this one, which we don't have here, we are supposed to like it's still so messed up. Maybe if the encoder just type in the caps lock button and didn't realize everything is on the capital letters, or you just extract it from the system or other records. And like this one was we're supposed to have like a proper format, which proper function changes all the capital letters of all the lower case letters to all the lowercase, except for the first letter in each word. So what it's gonna do is like did an equal proper converts this text string to the proper case. So the first letter in each word, which is on the uppercase, and all the other letters to the lower case. And then select on the one that's on the trim. Let's use the trim, the one that we're already fixed, or remove the spaces. this column, and it will become our raw data starting from these exercises. And here we um, it you know that this one also remove all this batch of spaces, and then there you go. That's how you do the proper. It's very useful if especially when it comes to names. So look, and then I'm going to just double click it here again. If you did see that cross, double click, it will copy it down up to the send it down all the formulas, and it's now on the proper formatting. That's the proper function, everyone. And that happens a lot. This one happens a lot if you get a dump from a database or just extract it and it's all in the capital, and that's not what you want, right? So it's like you sound angry, right? But it's all in the caps lock. So the proper function is just a great solution to that. And of course, we still let's format this back, remove this for text function. Don't worry, the final workbook still have this function for you to guide the answers to this. But for this sake, let's just remove the function button again, Alt ESV, or do the paste special home paste special, so that it become a raw data again, and which we can use on the next following exercises. Are you guys following? Those with a laptop and PC.
Yes po, ma'am.
All right. Who wants to do a volunteer? I could like have you remotely access my computer if you want. So still the next column is still an easy function, the find and search. Another function is defined. We have to take note of the difference between these two because find is very case sensitive and search is not case sensitive. So it's a good thing we have this two exercises before that wherein we're able to do proper with the case sensitive example and the trim in the not case sensitive. So find is case sensitive, search is not case sensitive. And if it can find a space, so that's this like I'm going to find this space here after the last name. The finder search will find the space in this text string, and it will tell you the position it is in. So you can also have the definition here. Find is similar to search, but it is case sensitive. Find finds this starting position in a text string of a text you specify. For example, you find a D in the SUDS, which is SUD 1, 2, 3, and it will return or give you a 3 on the text. So in this case, I want to find the space, a text string that in this case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we ask to find a space, it should return a 7 as an answer, right? Equals find control. Now this one, find text. So that's the, if you're using to find a text, we want to I'm going to like double quote space, double quote, and that means that you're finding a text, or like if you want to put like R, right, there's no R here, or D, it's a text. You, so you need to put it under in a double quote. But in our case, I'm just looking for the space, so I'm putting the space on the double quote, and then of course the comma, which says within the text, which text, let's use this already in the proper format or the raw data that we've already done. This one, let's find it. Excuse me. And then we don't we could put like a start number here, but we're not going to use that in our example, so we just have to just continue on the close parenthesis, because in this case everything is on the last and first name. So you can also put a starting number. The number would start the very first character on the left, so that's number 1. So if you want, you can put, but in this case it's easier not to put the starting number. There you go. Click enter or control enter, and it would give you that. Let's check on the function. So are you able to follow along? So I'm just gonna bring it down again, double click on it. Everything is on 7 because the key characters for the last name is on 7. So just to humor me, or I'm just gonna show you that, oh yeah, there it is, and then there's let's do some changes on it, like let's add more D's, and it will really count down the one from the space, the position of the space. So in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So hard to see. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. See? So I just showed you that find function is indeed correct. And could also do the rest, like if you want do something on it, add some L here, 2 more. So now, because of some of these tricks, we're now going to do the start rearranging the names now. And maybe we want to only have the first name, or that in here we could extract it from the formula. Anybody wants to try, volunteers, to try the first 3 exercises, or you can just share your screen if you've already done it. There's no right and wrong. Let's do this like a workshop. So if you have any more questions, so for example now, I'll just go Control C. So the next function, no volunteers, tribute. So let's do now the next function, which is the substitute function. I want your boss. I'm your boss. So I want to have a comma after the last name. Like for example, Tan, comma, Sophia Natalie. So I want that kind of format. So the substitute function finds text and replace it with some different text. So now I'm going to come over here, and I want to show you how to use the substitute function. And what the substitute function is going to allow us to do is that we still got this dump from the database. It's not arranged, it's not even formatted, so it had a space there. You see it has a space there on the after the last name. It's supposed to be a last name, and our system needs to have a comma. So we can use this substitute and say, hey, I substitute function find all the spaces first of this, all the spaces after the last name, and then let's put a comma. How to do that? Let's do equals substitute. Did I do the right spelling? And then it would replace the existing text with the new text in the text string. Substitute, just change or add. Let's go over that. It should, I'll just stop it. It's not entering, so let's do again. Sorry. There you go. So equals substitute, and it wants the text that is going to be the proper column. Let's do this column, and that right there. Are you guys following? Let's use the proper column now because it's more than arranged, and okay, we've already cleaned it up. And the next one, that's the text. The next one is the old text. Are you seeing the formula? Sorry, I can't zoom it in now. I'll just look at this one and the this one. So the text, that's the C14 text, and then we're now going to use comma old text, and that we want to find the space, right? Again, how do you find the space? Double quote, put the space inside the double quote, and do a substitute for it. Well, if it's on the space, so double quote again, and now the new text. What are we going to add? A comma, right? So let's put the comma inside the double quote. I know it's kind of confusing, but later on I'm gonna it looks kind of weird function, right? Just double quote, comma, double quote. I'm gonna show you easy another way for you to do that so that it's not so confusing. And finally, the instance number. So the instance number, the instance you notice that some people or some name like Dina, Dan, or this one has an M. Some of them has what? Middle initials. You notice that some names have middle initials, even 3-letter first name, 3 words first name. So if we left an instance number off, it would put a comma there also on the space after the first name and before the middle initials, right? So, and but we just want a comma on the first instance. So let's do the first instance. We just want to do the comma on the first instance, wherein which is the last name, comma, the first name, and space, the middle initials. So we don't want to put the comma on the second, which is for those who have a middle initials. So I'm just going to put 1 and then go ahead with the close parenthesis, control enter, or just press enter. There you go. That's the format we want to have, right? Oh, by the way, you see that it's so close, the comma. I want also to put some space after the comma. I'll just click on the comma. There, much better. I like that format. Much better, right? So, can you guys follow again? Just double click it. It goes down to the last, and it copies all the way. and it's so cool, and it did exactly what I want or what you want. All right, now let me show you something that's um, would ease up your confusion, because when you do this again, let's do the F2 function. Let's see the formula. It's very confusing, like what you said, the uh, double quote, comma, double quote. What's going on? So to see how we have all the commas, which also separates all the arguments, and then there's some commas also inside the codes, and that gets very confusing to some. So an alternative way to like typing this um, into the cell is to just go up to the function, to the substitute functions argument here, insert function, the dialog, just double click the fx. Again, how did I go to the function arguments? Here, the fx in the dialog, and then the dialog box will appear, which is to some, this one would be less confusing. Double quote, and then double quote. So like on the text, we do the CF4, old text, double quote, space, double quote, and it's not very confusing, right? So you can use that if you can like see, you don't want to see this. So if you want, that's an alternative way to do, like for you to follow along the arguments. Oh, who among you is following up, doing the exercises? You want to show your classmates how it is done, or if you have like a better way for you to do it, I can send you the remote control for my screen, and or just share your workbook with me. Any questions so far at this end? None? Okay, let's do the replace and find the name. I just want Dina Ban. How do you pronounce this name? Abdisaban Hassan. I just want that name, the first name, to appear only here. So that's your boss. I'm your boss, so I am the one telling you I want that. So what you're gonna do? So here, the problem was we need a comma for our system, but now we need the first name only in this column. And then how do we do that? Because there are all the data in one cell, the last, and the first name always starts on the right after the comma. So let me first change this to remove the function. What's that again? Alt ESV. I just want to change the value of the cell to general, so that we can use this on the next following exercise. The first so they're all the data here in the last name and the first name. Well, let's we also, when you're analyzing the data, you gotta find a pattern. And for us here, the pattern is that you can see the pattern, right? The first name always starts right after a comma and a space. So that's the that's the pattern. You can use this from the last name, because as you see, for example, this one I added lots of character already. So you have to see what's the pattern here, the common denominator. So in here, the first name always starts with a comma and name. Okay, let me choose we want to extract the first name only, and we've already find the pattern. We have this replaced and find. Let's read the definition. Replaced function replace the parts of the string with a text you specify given the starting number and the numbers of the character. Like I said, what Excel do is count from the very first character 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9. But they are not the same. So the pattern we find is a comma and a space. So if we put 1, it's going to like equals replace is part of the text string with a different string, and then we have the old text, our old text. Let's use this the last column, which is like more fixed already, and replace once we want to replace or start the number 1. So if we like to like put in the number characters, like I said, it's already been so they are variables. So they are not in the uniform like this one, the last, the Vivian, and the count number. So and then it would be like the how many characters to count, right? So that's the start of this first character, and we want to go all the way to that comma space. So the starting number is going to be 1, but how in the world do we count this number of characters? So what are we going to do or use? Because we need it to, and we want to like replace everything up to the space with a blank. So then it's just Dina. The Dina will just appear. So like I said, we have to find these patterns. So we'll use the find function which we saw before, and we saw that the find function can find the position, and that's exactly what we want. And because we need these number characters for the find, what are we going to find? The pattern, which is the comma. Remember, if we're going to find the text, we put it on the double quote. So double quote, comma, and the space, and double quote again. That's what we're going to find, and that is exactly what we want. And then we're going to select on within the text of this column. Are you guys following? Remember, we can't do the number characters, so it's easier to just find the pattern and then put it inside the text string. So but if we're going to find it within the text, close parenthesis. But in this case, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What Excel will do, it still will include the number 8, which is the space. And we don't want that. So we just have to add +1. Because Excel includes the very first character. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you will, well, if we don't add +1, what happened is like the 8th character, which is the space, Dina, space Dan, space Abdi Samad. So that's not what we're going to do when we do the finding this character. And of course, now we have the characters on the replaced. What we're going to do is just do the double quotes here for the new text. And then we have our formula. Can you see that? Don't worry, I will share you the final workbook, but you can take down the notes. So there you go. I'm sorry. It's just Dina. So let me show you. If I don't add one, what happened? There is a space there. That's the difference if you don't add one, because it counts the 8 character plus 1. And just Dina. Or the 8 position, not the 8 character, sorry. And those, let's do copy it all the way down, all the formula down, double click again. Let's check on it, everything. What happened here? Let's do that. I'm using, sorry for that, still loading. There you go. Is it on my internet? Oh no, still loading. There you go. So just copy it down, all the formula, and then we double check if it did the right thing. Can you guys follow? If you do have question, why I add one or why I don't add one? Before I do this one, the last column, let's do a text function, which is the left, right, and the mid function. Left would return the specific, because we will use left function here. I will go open another workbook. This one is this is the easiest text function probably. So I will share this with you. I think it's not, but this is supposed to be on the lookup function, but now we have to use it first for the left, because this is a perfect workbook for that. Hold on. Let's just listen first. It's the easiest part, so I will share with you this also workbook. So right function or text function would extract a given number of characters from the right, or this one, and the left would extract a given number of characters from the right, which is from R, and left would start here, and mid would be in the middle. And of course, there's this search also. So we have a great couple examples, and I want to see how to use this right and left and search function. And these are the text functions that allow us to really extract just the part of the text string. And now here's the ID for it. Here, the ID, and this is from an external data dump, also from a database. And we got we got also this lookup table. Let's just ignore this first, the lookup table, and only use this last part of the ID. So in order to do this, we have to do the equals on the VLOOKUP, right? But in here, I'm just gonna teach you the right, left, and mid search sample. And we do there are 3 examples here. And just do the right. Do the right text. Hold on. So you see here from the right, there are 4 characters before the dash. So it's also 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 dash. 1, 2, 3, 4 dash. We just want to get this data, the ID. So they are uniform. So right, text, and number 4 characters. And there you go. Just double click it again, copy all the way. So it's the same now, right? That's the one we're looking for. And then we want this also particular text string from the left. The left is the product ID in here, but unlike the right function, what did you notice? They are very valuable, very valuable. So variable, sorry. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 position is, and then in this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 position. So there are variable count of characters, and what we're gonna do is again to find the pattern. So what's the pattern here? There is a dash. So we search for that or find what the text is, and just do the double quote first. So this the search function is what we're going to use first to search for that dash. So it's equals search. You find the text function. Again, it's a text, so you put it on double quote, and find it. Hold on, where are we? Here, A15. So the thing here is we do the smaller text string. We're going to put it on a smaller text string later on. So it's on 7th, but it's on $sign. So we want to format it first. Go to home. It's on currency para currency. So just format it to general, change it to general, or the keyboard shortcut is Control Shift tilde. So there you go. Or just drop down on the. So that's the one. And if we want to do Control F2, now that it would also give us the left. Now we could start using the left. So are you following why we put in the left one, the search first? Because they have different counts of characters, so the position is variable. So we need to find the dash, which is their common denominator. On the search, we don't want the dash to be included in the count. So I want to go -1 because I don't. This is the count that would include the dash, like this one on the 8th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't want to include or find the minus the dash on our search. So I'm gonna go -1 so that it's just Ellen, Carlota, and Bud that would appear. So now I say the left, there's a text Here, let's put in the left function. Find it on the search, this one, and this is the number characters, which was subtext string. We used the search, so it would be 6, 7, and 4, and then close parenthesis. I got the len Carlotta. Just double click. There you go. If I don't include -1, what happened is that it would include the negative, the dash. That's why I don't want to include that character -1. So you notice how dynamic it is if we copy it down and always get exactly the number of characters from the left that we want to. And so now let's go to the last one, which is the mid. Hold on. Okay. This is mid. Right? If we have questions, I'm just checking the chat if we have questions. So now let's go down and look at our next example. What if our ID was always in the middle? 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6, 5, and it's always on the middle part. Well, there's this thing that we can use, which is mid. Mid needs to know what the starting position first and how many characters. So it looks like it extracts the middle given a starting point and the number of characters that you want. So it looks like the position will also be variables like the previous exercise, which is the left. Because you see, if you look at the starting point, you have different number. This one. So this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's on the 6th. So the position is variable also. So wait a second. We can use our same search function that we did a while ago, and which is also equals search. Let me count this. I'm going to search for what is the common denominator or the pattern here, which is the text, a dash, and a double quote also. Here, search the dash. Also, that's the find the text, same as the one that we did also in the left function a while ago. And then still going to use this one. Enter. And there you go. But like I said, I don't want to include the dash. In this case, we have to add +1. So for example, this is 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it still would include this 7 characters, which is the dash, and the middle part is the one next to that position, which is 8, and in this case another one, this one should be 9, and this one should be 6. I'll just add +1. And there you go. So now if we're going to use the mid, Now mid is going to say where is the text and the dash. So it's going to ask what's the starting number and how many characters. So the text, there's the comma also, right? So this one, where is this character? 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6, 5. So the variable part is really the tricky part of this formula, but the function is very easy. The mid now, after we've already searched, so let's do mid. The text is still, we're going to use this one function, and then the number of character is already done or by the search function. And then this is the number characters. The number characters is always 3. You see the ID is 3, just 3 characters. So then there you have it. You know, the Excel, you noticed here, they are already the same, but not the same. Why? So, you know, Excel, if this is a number format, it would align to the right, but you see this is aligned to the left. Now we have to learn a cool trick, and this would pop up in many formulas or that you do in Excel, where you have a number that is stored as a text, and get this F2. In any math operations, all you need to do is, you can also do the Control C and just, you know, format it, the number after. Control C, copy, Alt yes, and just form a different number. But it would take you really a long time to do that. So what you're gonna do is just F2. Just go back to this operation, and if you just add any mathematical operations like add, multiply, divide, after that, like in this one, I want to add it, multiply it by 1, then the text would become a number. So if you do now the cell, it become a number. This is a text and this is a number. So what happened is that this is not the same. It looks the same, but it's not. So that's how you transform a text format to a number format. So let's do this, and do also +1, +1, or yeah, +0. There you go. Just put, or any divide, just any mathematical operation, divide by 1. So would transform the text. That's a very cool trick for our very cool Excel trick, right? Let me save this one so that you can have this later on when the other review. Now let's go back to the final exercise, which is replace and find left formula. We left behind this last exercises before we end the session today. Now, the last thing we want to do is to reorganize, right? So the substitute function or column, we inserted a comma and then replaced it. So here we took the first name. We wanted to the first name and the last, but now we want to reorganize it. All right, so what pattern can you recognize here to extract the last name first? And this one we can use this already, so we just want to add a last name to it from this data. So if we can the pattern here is still the same, the comma and the and the space. So let's do a left function. Left this many characters each time. This many so here we have this bunch of characters and also different kinds of variable number also from the first one. So in here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and yeah, so and it's very variable as well. So there's this now we could use to also use the find function here, like what we did on in the exercise a while ago. So if we use equals left sorry okay, equals left, and the text is this column, substitute column, and the number of characters we will use the find function to find that common denominator or the pattern, and how many of that. So in here we have to find the comma and also this from this one within this text, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 1, 6, 7. So if we use that, the comma is on the 7th position, but we don't want to include the comma, so minus 1. And then there you go. Just the last number without the comma. If we don't use the minus 1, it would include the comma. So minus 1. So we use the left function here and the find function of that first part. Now combine these two. That's our goal. It should be this two column. And how do we use that? We use the ampersand or the concatenate also, or join function. Let's not make it so complicated. What I'm gonna do is just copy this function and then put that on this one, right? Because it's just the same. And how to connect these two? You use the ampersand symbol, the ampersand symbol, so that would be ampersand and add a space, of course, because if you don't add a space, it will look like this. So how do you add a space again? A character, a text, or anything? You put in double quote, or inside the double quote is space, double quote, and then the end sign or the ampersand. Oh, there you go. That's the thing that we want to find. and I'm just gonna copy it down again. I'll double check if I did the right thing. Yeah, what I did, I just copied the formula on the left side, and then there you go. So if you want to change this back, everything, it will, because it's now on the right. So I think I have that peace of mind of already that we've won this. So I'm gonna end the session in this workbook because we don't have more time, and I think this is just a short intro of our next topic, which is concatenate and the join function, the ampersand, which is we did here. So all right, in closing, that's a little bit about of text function, and there's a lot of amazing uses for them, but really the trick is that you can always find the pattern, and also you don't forget that there's a lot of data and we have like spaces in between. We have not noticed this space before, and then we also, what we did is to have them arranged first for its proper format. And now the opposite of proper function is actually upper function. So uppercase, like an uppercase. So for example, just an example, this one I want to put it back to this one, so put it on uppercase. I just put upper formula text, upper text function. There you go. So proper, put it on the proper format. Upper, put it on caps lock. So bonus text function. Any questions so far? So this is one of the easiest, and our topic will be ampersand and concatenate also. And I will give you some of the exercises and workbook assignment, which is already posted. Okay, very good meeting with you. So I'll see you on our next class. Thank you, and very nice meeting you, class. So the concatenate, we just leave it first blank, and we will do that on our next sessions. You just wait a few minutes for the recording. Bye, class. Have a great lunch. Bye.
Thank you
Thank
po,
you.
ma'am. Bye
Bye.
po.
Thank you.